Welcome back to the Oliver Way. Today we have finally got to break into our new table saw, which is exciting because I've needed a table saw for a very long time. Various projects we've done around the property and even at our old property in Pennsylvania, we've needed a table saw. So we finally broke down with this flooring project, picked up the table saw the other day. The family and I went to Lowe's, picked out this SKIL saw, which I had looked at reviews online. I looked at Harbor Freight, Home Depot, Lowe's, all of the big name places that you would typically pick up a job site table saw like this. And my favorite after all the reviews was this SKIL saw. So we picked this one up. It's kind of a mid-grade saw for a homeowner, if you will. It's not the real cheap saws. It's not the real expensive DeWalt's or Bosch. But this SKIL saw should do a lot for us and help us get through this flooring project especially. So we just broke open the box. Colton and I are doing that, and I'm going to take a look at assembling the rest of this, the guard, the riving knife, all of that stuff, get the guide on here, and we will be in business real shortly here to finish up some of the flooring repairs that we started yesterday. And we have some panels that we need to rip down to make that repair complete. So I'm going to see how long this takes to get this SKIL saw up and running. I don't think it's going to take a whole lot, but I'm going to break into the instructions, make sure there's nothing that we are not expecting in here, and see how long this is going to take. So Colton and I are going to get this thing up and running, and I'm expecting it to be pretty quick here. So stay tuned. We're going to get to the flooring project here in just a moment. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. It took about 15 minutes, which I don't know if that's good or bad. It was all straightforward. A lot of this stuff on a table saw is a little bit foreign to me still. I've ran table saws in the past, but these job site saws are a little bit different. Each adjustment is a little different than I'm accustomed to, I suppose. But everything looks pretty straight. I made a couple adjustments from factory, just lining up the guide with the blade itself. It all pretty straightforward. But we're going to get to work here now on ripping down these MDF and hardy board for the flooring repair that we are working on. That shouldn't be a little bit of a test for this. Some larger material. When I say larger, wider material. Guiding that through might be a bit of a challenge, especially first time running this saw, but should be perfectly fine. We have 2 long rips to make on each board and a couple little cutouts to work around vents and such there. So it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But I'm going to start taking some measurements, and we're going to get to work on getting this flooring repair finally complete. Alrighty guys, the day kind of took a little more time than I wanted it to. We got that repair done this morning. A little bit slow. Some of those cuts were a little complex. A lot of framing around pieces here and there. But those repairs are complete now. Now I get to start working on the actual laying of the new laminate flooring. So that's exciting because I've been looking forward to actually getting that done or started. It's going to take a long time to actually get it done. But this blade that came on the SKIL saw is not going to cut it. This is just kind of your typical framing saw, your rough cut saw, if you will. And what we need for this laminate is going to be a fine tooth carbide tip. And so yesterday, while we were out and about getting some of that stuff for this repair, I went ahead and picked up this Hercules miter and table saw blade. It's a 10-inch blade. This is the 10-inch table saw, 84 teeth carbide blade. And so that really should do the trick for this laminate. So I just want to get that set up because that is going to be our next task. Go ahead and get this on, and then I'm also going to go ahead and bring in the sliding miter saw that I have out in the garage that I typically use to cut stickers for the sawmill. We're going to go ahead and get that up here as well. We'll do all of our cutting out here on this back deck. It's easy access to the house, no steps, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So we're not running up and down steps every time we've got to make a new cut on either the table saw or the miter saw. And I also got a new blade for the miter saw, so we're going to slap that on here too once we bring it in. Nice easy blade change. These tools were attached underneath the table saw with a wing nut. I kind of wish it was something other than a wing nut because that is very simple to misplace or to lose. After you grab what you need, I actually dropped it, and if it would have went through the floor here, one of the cracks in the floor, we would have been chasing it down below us here. So if there was any complaint so far, that's it, which means I really have nothing to complain about. We didn't do a lot of cutting on the table saw today, just the 2 rips of the MDF. The hardy board was really too flimsy. I just didn't feel safe cutting it on the table saw without, you know, I don't have in-feed rollers or out-feed rollers or anything like that right now. So I did not feel like it was a good idea to be trying to feed that through the table saw. It was some of my first cuts on this saw. So I took care of those out with the circular saw on the front porch there. But all in all, it all went together. So we've got that done. I just didn't get to lay flooring like I wanted to today. Did a little bit more scraping in the kitchen with that adhesive. It is extremely difficult to get that stuff up. That paper is obviously glued down, but it does not want to come up. So I scraped and scraped and scraped. I am tempted to put some underlayment with that, but at the same time, I'm not sure if that is going to solve my problems or not. But we're going to go grab, after I put these supports back on, or the guides back on here, and the table or the blade guard. These go on real simple. This is like a riving knife with a guard. It just slips down in here with a little lock. Nice and simple. You lock that down. Then you can put your blade guard on. Nice and simple there. And then the riving knives just lock in place there. And everything is set up for some laminate flooring. So I'm going to run out and grab the compound miter saw and figure out how we're going to set that up out here. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, so we've got the Chicago Electric sliding miter saw from Harbor Freight that I got as a gift. My goodness, it's at least been 8 years since I was gifted this. I've done a lot, built barns, built many projects on the property. I've done a lot with this sliding miter saw, it's been through a lot, except for a blade change. I've never replaced the blade on this thing. So we'll see if we can get this off today. That's step one. Okay, so we're locked on that side. Maybe I can lock this down. A little more leverage. And it's reverse thread, so we're going right loosey, which always throws me off. There we go. Alright. That's good. I was worried that was not going to be happy with me. It wasn't happy with me, but we got it. Alright, so this is the old blade that came on it, the original blade. So if I have any luck with Harbor Freight blades, if this is a sign for good luck with Harbor Freight blades, then we are in good shape with the new blade that I picked up. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a blade I use regularly, but it should do me good for this flooring project. All right, this blade is set. Admiral Construction. I wish they had a date on here. That would be interesting. All right, let's get the new one. All right, so similar to what I put on the table saw, this is another Hercules blade. It's a fine finish saw, 12-inch, 1-inch arbor, 80 carbide teeth. So it should do us pretty good here. There we go. We should be good, nice and set up here. Probably lube this up a little bit. It should be do us just fine. I'll give it a little test spin, make sure we're in good shape there. That's what we wanted. Looking good there. We are staged for some flooring. Okay, so last objective for today. This is an old shelf that we had in the kitchen. It was here when we moved here, but we never loved where it was. It's just a messy shelf. When you have a shelf like this in the kitchen, it collects everything, and so it just becomes a place where you sit things just to get them out of the way, and it becomes extremely cluttered. So what we're going to do is kind of move it and turn it 90 degrees from where it was and fit it up against the wall between where we were just removing some of that flooring. It won't fit there because the chimney would be in the way, so we're going to trim it to fit kind of between the chimney and the wall. And so what we need to do for that is take off about 14 inches from each of these shelves, unscrew from the back side where they're notched in right here and screwed from the back side, and just reattach this support where we need it so that we have the proper width of shelves when it's all said and done. So I'm going to start cutting these shelves with the circular saw. I'm probably going to need to do something to support this temporarily until I get the old shelves out of the leg of the support. But we'll make some cuts, see how this is going to behave, and slap this all back together here shortly. So I'm going to throw you on a time lapse while I do this. Well, all right, that went okay. These boards are kind of crowned really bad after all the years of drying, so getting them back into the slots that were in the existing supports was a bit challenging. You're looking at the back side. I lined up the front side pretty well. This is what we'll see from the kitchen. This all came out a lot better than the other side, as it was just nothing really square on it now, without over the years of it kind of curling, cupping, moving a little bit. So we lined up the front. It'll be fine. With the nails in the screws, all these shelves will be extremely strong. We'll be in pretty good shape. And we'll go in now and test to see if this fits where we need it to fit, which is going to be the ultimate test. But we should be fine. I measured it out. We'll be just fine. But that's really all we have for today, guys. We got some flooring repairs done. We got some cleaning up done. I did some math on the flooring to figure out where we're going to start, how wide the first board is going to be to make it lay out nice across the house. I think I know where I want to start. I just got to decide if I'm going to do an underlayment or not, where that existing adhesive is currently sitting. So that's on the agenda to figure that out. But this week we'll be laying flooring. And by next weekend, I have some help coming. The OGO, the Oliver original Oliver, however you want to look at that. My dad is going to be coming down to help lay the flooring. So having another set of hands is going to be extremely helpful getting all this knocked out here in the near future. So thanks for being here, guys. These last couple videos have been a little bit all over the place, but that's just kind of our life. Sometimes we get a lot done, sometimes we get very little done, and sometimes what we plan to get done never gets done. But at least not on that day. We come back and get it done another day. But it's been an eventful weekend. We got enough done that I feel like I accomplished something. Just didn't get through the whole list, which is pretty common. I usually set out pretty ambitious goals, and not meeting all of them is kind of my standard, which maybe I should take a look at fixing that, setting more realistic goals. So appreciate you being here, guys. We have flooring coming up. We have sawmilling work coming up. We have just some regular property maintenance stuff coming up. So stick around. We have a lot in store. So appreciate you being here again, guys. We're having fun no matter what we're getting into. So until then, guys, we will catch you again tomorrow on the next one.